Hello everybody, this is Dr. Hoskins. I just want to thank you for watching this video. This is part of the requirements becoming part of our membership practice. This will allow you to understand why we do what we do, how we do what we do, what's expected of you, and a little bit about how your body works. So hopefully you'll enjoy this as much as you can, and hopefully you definitely learn something about yourself and about what we do here at Pure Chiro now. So I'm just going to go through this fairly quickly. One of the things that we need to be aware of is, why are we actually seeking care in the first place? A lot of people talk about feeling. Some people are concerned about function. We're going to cover that here in this slideshow as we go along. First things first, we need to talk about philosophy of chiropractic. One of the key elements of our philosophy in chiropractic is a concept called universal intelligence. Universal intelligence is that entity, that person that created everything and the rules they set in place to manage everything. Chiropractic is really cool in that it doesn't dictate a theology, but it assumes that there is an intelligent creator and that the creation has rules that all of creation follows. A subset of that universal intelligence is innate intelligence. Innate is something that you're born with. Like ducks have an innate ability to swim, and eagles have an innate ability to fly. It's something they're born with, something they naturally do. Every living organism has something called innate intelligence, and its job is to adapt external stuff for internal use. So it adapts that Oreo cookie that you had for snack last night into the different components so the body can use those components to grow and heal and function. And store for future use. So innate intelligence is what operates within your body. It's constructive. Universal intelligence is everything in the universe, and it typically is destructive. Innate intelligence will always choose to express life that's within you fully. Innate intelligence will never choose to harm itself or the organism it's working in, which is you. In this instance, innate intelligence adapts outside forces and materials to accomplish these two things, which is what I already said. And we believe, and it's proven out to be the case functionally, that this innate intelligence resides within the brain and uses the nervous system to communicate to the rest of the body. That's important. All right, so a little bit of anatomy and physiology. This is structure, which is anatomy, and physiology, which is function. So we have the brain, we have the spinal cord, and we have your body. The nervous system here is how your body and your brain communicate. It goes out through the spinal cord at different branches. It goes out to your body. The body follows the commands, does things, senses things, sends impulses back to the spinal cord. Spinal cord can make some local decisions like reflexes. Otherwise, the information is sent up to the brain for further analysis. These are just the main nerves in your body. It's said that if I took every tissue of your body away except for the nerves, we could still recognize you in a crowd and take your fingerprint. That's pretty amazing. The nerves influence every cell in the body, including those that are circulating. Some of the more recent research shows that the nervous system directly affects immunity, which is your allergies and healing and all the other stuff that the immune system manages. And it affects other things that you may not think of that the immune system directly controls. So the immune system, or the nervous system, nervous system controls everything, and only a very, very small part of it has to do anything with feeling. So here we go: brain, spinal cord, instructions, body. Follow the instructions, do the thing, gather results, gather other information, send that back, and then it's back up to the brain. You might think, well, what about these things called hormones? What about the chemicals in the body? Well, one of the things you need to know about the anatomy of the body is that the master gland, the pituitary gland, is actually categorized as both nervous tissue and endocrine tissue, or brain tissue and hormone tissue. So the master gland has both in it. And you can see here in this diagram that it's situated right there at the base of the brain, right next to the brainstem, right on top of the spinal cord. So the pituitary gland, the master gland of the body that controls all the other glands, monitors all the other glands and their secretions, is actually part of the nerve system. This is just a very, very small overview of the endocrine system with all the different glands, showing the pituitary gland and all the different things that it influences. This is their locations. I'm not going to get into that. This is a diagram of the different hormones in your body that are sending out chemical signals throughout the body. What I like to point out is every one of these bottom row here, people spend an entire career on. And yet the pituitary gland, about the size of a pea or half a peanut, sitting in the top of your nose at the base of your brain, controls all these and knows what's going on in all of these at all time. And this is just it's called a thought diagram of how the endocrine system controls everything in the body. And again, every one of these cream yellow rounded off rectangles, people spend an entire career on and get PhDs, multiple PhDs, teach courses, and help people throughout the field of medicine. And your pituitary gland knows about them all the time. So endocrine system is there for instructions, and it does get a little bit of information back, but most of its information is gotten back through the spinal cord, through information from the body and the sensors there. And so we have information coming back through the spinal cord into the brain. We have instructions leaving out by an endocrine and by the nerve system. It's just a marvelous, marvelous creation that we have here. Body function is 93% of all that, probably more since I've thrown in the endocrine system, because I know 93% of just the nervous system is concerned with function. Only about 7% of that entire system has anything to do with feeling. So if there's something going on in your body, you may never feel it. In fact, and this is not to scare anybody, I'm not talking to anybody specifically, just in general, they say that over 50% of the people with heart issues never know they have heart issues, because the first symptom is they drop over dead with a heart attack. So you're going to trust your heart health with just feeling, knowing that over 50% of the people never feel a symptom at all? Same thing with the rest of your body. We have ways of detecting things. Medicine has ways of detecting things that are wrong with certain organ function, but at a much higher level, the body function that chiropractors are dealing with, that's what we focus on, and that's what we do on a regular basis. So body function or body feeling, the choice really is yours. So which one is more important to you now? I know if you're watching this and you're in pain, I mean, that's right there. Pain is a normal part of your body. It's part of the innate intelligence system saying, hey, something's going on. Pay attention to me. Pay attention to me and take care of this, because something's bad enough for me to bring attention to the nervous system for it. So that's why pain is there. Yes, I know it's grabbing your attention. Yes, it will go away maybe. Yes, it should go away quickly, unless there's other things going on. But most importantly is function. So here we are. So where do all these things come together? Right there at the base of the brain, top of the spinal cord. That is the key. There are whole entire systems of chiropractic set up just to deal with that part of the spinal cord. It's very important. I always check that on every visit with every person, and that's something that I'll continue to do for the rest of my career. All right, so chiropractic is the philosophy, science, and art of the detection, analysis, and adjustment of vertebral subluxation, period. Vertebral subluxation is that interference that we talked about, thereby assisting the body in gaining control over all its systems for the fullest expression of life possible. That's what we do every day in the practice. So listening to this is part of what you need to know. That's why we recommend ongoing regular chiropractic care, so that you can keep this system functioning optimally for the longest amount of time possible. That's why we want your entire family there, so that they can experience that same freedom from the interferences that are holding their systems back. That's why we want you to refer people in for several reasons. First of all, the people you love should be getting the same type of care and same type of reason for keeping their body optimal. That's what we do. So the referrals that we ask for also are the best way to do business. You ask any business person, where's the best place to get new clients? And they will always tell you word of mouth. Always tell you word of mouth. No different here. The best next patient is your best friend. The best next patient is your neighbor. The best next patient is somebody that you do business with or go to church with or play tennis with, and telling them the chiropractic story, letting them watch this video, finding out some of the basics. So that is who you need to be thinking about to improve not only your individual life, but your family life, your neighborhood life, your community life, your county, your state, the nation, this world. If we can all be functioning at a much higher level with the full expression of life within us, and get rid of as many of those interferences as possible, just think of what a nice place it would be to live. So chiropractic, it is very specific. It's very scientific. And this is one way of looking at how your body works, because that's what the science says. We're going to go into some other things here. This is the what I've shared so far is why I do what I do. It's also a lot more complex than that. I just glossed over the vertebral interference, where a bone, a vertebral segment is not functioning properly, not sitting properly. It pulls and tugs and pushes on the nervous system, causing it to malfunction. We talked about the hormone system, how it's part of the nervous system, and even that can be messed up by a vertebral subluxation, because all of the information gathered has to come back through the spinal cord, which is inside the spinal column. And so if the spinal column is not right, the spinal cord's not right, the brain's not right, that needs to be looked at, and that's what we do. So money, this is how we do our business. The first month, when you first come in, I don't charge an upfront examination fee. The first visit is a little bit more intense, but that's when we get to know each other. I interview you, you interview me. Oh, it just got a little dark. That's okay. That's when we interview each other and get to know each other a little bit. No extra charge for that if I decide to work on you on the first visit. If you're by yourself, it's $50. If you bring in your entire family, no matter how many are in there, that's only $75 for the visit. Every visit for the first month or so, until we get to a point where you want membership and you understand what it is those same prices. So it's $50 for a single, it's $75 for a family. Once you qualify for membership and realize the benefits of getting regular ongoing chiropractic care, we can set you up for a membership. So a single, your monthly fee is $150. And for a family, I really make this easy. Your family is only going to spend $200 a month on chiropractic care. That's probably a typo. No, it's not. It's intentional. I like taking care of families. I want to see your entire family every week. $200 is a good fee. $200 is something I believe every family can afford. It's usually less than what you pay for your cell phones. So that is a good fee for you to come in on a regular basis, you and your entire family, once a week, to get checked and get these vertebral subluxations clear, so that they don't build up and they don't build layers of complications upon themselves and cause other things to possibly go wrong down the road. But definitely they're interfering with the full expression of life. And then if you choose, you can also prepay for a year. I usually hold this off for several months so that you understand by experience what this actually is. And that's a huge discount. I give you 2 months free if you prepay. There's no refunds. There's no, that sits in an escrow account to pay. That's what we have to do. But there are no refunds. So you have to understand what you're buying with this to do that. But the month, or the visit to visit is there. The membership is there and reasonable. And then if you choose and you've qualified yourself, you can also prepay for the year. I hold that back for special people, so don't count on that being available unless you really shine as coming in on a regular basis. You're referring people in, they're getting it. That's when you qualify for that yearly discount, because you've got to commit. It's a way to commit. Now, This is all fine and dandy. This is great. These are great prices. I do have a deal up the sleeve. It's called Box on the Wall. I want to make sure you understand this. This is not for everybody. These are for people that have limited income, are stuck with, I don't know, they're out of a job, they're in transition, things are going bad, and they still need help. This is called Box on the Wall, and this is not free care. This is not free care. All of the other stuff I told you about coming in on a regular basis and coming in when I expect you to be there, they're mandated. If you want to, if this is what you have to use, and we've talked about Box on the Wall with you, these are the rules. Every week when you come in, you'll drop your fee in the box. If you come in more than once a week, it's still just once a week is when you pay. You determine your fee. This is where it gets really interesting for people. It's the same fee. It's every week. And if you go down to number 7, this is the key. This is not short-term cheap care. Box on the Wall is not that. It's not that at all. It's what you can afford every week for as long as you come in until your situation changes. And I expect if I'm going to do this, I'm going to help subsidize your care. I would expect you to bring in your entire family. It doesn't change your fee. I just want your entire family there. If you're going through stress, your family's going through stress, that means they all need to be taken care of too. It doesn't change the fee. Just everybody in your family needs to be in every week, and that's part of the deal. Also, you're expected to refer in friends and family and neighbors on a regular basis. Again, if I'm subsidizing this, I would expect you to return the favor and tell people about what chiropractic is. And again, you're expected to be here when I tell you, so that we can get you to a place where you can start earning more money and get out of whatever situation you're in, or get through it. And that's okay. Number 7, this is not short-term cheap care. This is a commitment. I'm making a commitment to you, and you're making a commitment to me. I want to throw another thing in here. I am not trusting you to take care of my bills. I'm trusting my Creator God that I worship and choose. He pays my bills. He takes care of me. He provides me with abundance, which allows me to do this. What you're doing is you're choosing to participate in that flow of abundance back through me so that I can help other people. That's what this is about. It's not getting cheap care for a short period of time and saying, blah, blah, blah. No, this is much more important than that. And that leads to number 8. You need to communicate. If things change, life happens. You need to communicate. And if you just drop off this without communicating, that's it. You go back to regular fees. So again, this is something special I do for special situations. Don't count on this unless you can prove it, and don't count on this unless we have a relationship. But I wanted to include this in the presentation so that you understand our full fee structure and our full business plan. So office procedures, you need to keep in touch. I really need to have your cell phone number, and I really need to have your email address. Those two things are critical. Your phone number is how you check in, so we need to have that anyway. Your email is when I send you updates on what's going on in the practice, schedule changes. If you're reading this, or if you're watching this, you probably know already that I'm a busy guy. I have speaking engagements. I do some travel, do some training stuff. All of that's very, very important. And if I don't have a way to contact you, you may drive all the way across town to my office and find out I'm not there. That's not cool. I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste that money. I would rather you be in contact, and that means I need you to give me your email address, and I need you to give me your cell phone address. We have a website that keeps you connected. We have text alert. We're working on getting a new one of those. We have the newsletters go out through email. We have social media. All of those things you need to keep in touch and keep contact with us. All right, so when you come in, you go to the kiosk, which is on the shelf, the laptops, and you just type in your last name and the last 4 digits of your phone number. Your name will pop up. You click check in. If you're part of a family, your entire family will pop up then. You need to check those that are with you. There's also a check all button. I had families back in Indiana that had 7 or 8 people that would check in. That check all button checks them all in, and you hit OK, and then you're checked in. You just sit down and wait. When it's your turn, you go to the next table that's available. And if I am really busy, if you could just change the paper, that'd be really cool too. Usually I'm right there to do that. And that way you know the paper's clean. Even if it looks clean, go ahead and change the paper, because I do that as well. If it looks clean, I still change it. That way you see it's clean and sanitary and ready to go. All right, payment options. If you bring in cash or check, it goes in the box or on my desk in the designated box. If you use plastic, you can use my swiper. And if there's other payments, like, I don't know, we'll talk about that some other day. I've had people pay me in eggs and ammunition and motorcycles and things like that. That obviously will take another place to accept those payments. Well, my friends, that is how we do things at Pure Chiro now. Again, this is required for you to even be considered for membership. And I know it's only been about 20 minutes. There's a lot more that I can cover, and there will be, if you go through the video archives that we have, you'll see a lot of the other stuff that we cover. But what I have covered is the essential basics of why we do what we do, how we do it, and what's expected. Have any questions? Always give me a call, 864-715-2225, or go to the website and email me at dochoskins@gmail.com or dochoskins@purechironow.com. All of those things get a hold of me, and that's how you could ask your questions. Or better yet, just ask them next time you're in your office. All right, I'm going to get done now. 21 minutes in. I think that's plenty. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.